Hello everyone, it is of course Mityr here, and I wanted to participate in something today. A channel by the name of Nando V Movies has called upon a bunch of creators to make a video about, well, you read the title, one villainous scene. At first I thought, oh well shit, he movie guy, I'm game guy, game dumb dumb, movie smart smart, he's not gonna let me do dumb baby game. And then I watched the first minute where he laid out the ground rules.
Each of us has written and produced a video essay about a scene with a villain from a movie or TV show or game or book or song or whatever that demonstrates how awesome a certain villain is.
So, I'm going to talk about Spec Ops just one last time. I know I said I wouldn't talk about it anymore, but I really want to talk about the greatest act of villainy committed in the game and the primary villain who committed it, Captain Martin Walker. You know the drill. I've talked about Spec Ops before. Click the card in the top right. That's where those videos are. But now is the time to talk about true villainy. What is it? If you take Cinemawins as example, it's the needless loss of life to make a point. If you take Eddig's example, it's the blurred line between being a fan and being a fanatic. If you take my perspective, it's not taking responsibilities for your own actions and pushing the blame onto someone else. Captain Martin Walker, your assistant as the player, does just that. You do some of the most heinous things for the most meaningless purposes. Every action you take, every step you take is meaningless because of you not taking responsibility for it and attempting to push all the blame onto one man, Colonel John Conrad. And I think there's one scene in the game that truly exemplifies this. The most infamous scene from the game, the white phosphorus scene. But before we go out those doors, context. It's gotta be the fucking stupidest thing. In the previous chapter, during one of the many shootouts, Walker, Sergeant Lugo, and Lieutenant Adams bore witness to the effects of the white phosphorus, a deadly chemical that the military uses for some incendiary rounds, causing near-fatal injuries if you're lucky, fatal in most cases. You three were in the lucky category, as it seems to not faze you at all, but you see the destruction that it has caused around your battlefield. Several things on fire, dead bodies lit ablaze, natural tree life being burned down. It is some horrifying stuff to witness, and luckily, you, a sane individual, would never think about causing that kind of harm to anyone, perceived evil or otherwise, right? Walker, Lugo, and Adams emerge from a hotel lobby, swiftly taking out a lookout who appears to be an enemy. Lugo stares at the battlefield ahead, stating that there's an army, you'd never make it past them. Adams tells Walker that this might help, being vague about it so you, the player, don't know what it is. Walker then tells Adams to set it up before Lugo clarifies what the player might have been thinking. That thing is white phosphorus, the same chemical used against you maybe 10-20 minutes ago. The player is now presented with a choice without knowing if the people are hostile or friendly. Does Walker use the white phosphorus and cause irreparable damage to his own mind, or try to fight his way through the endless waves of backup that this small encampment has? Walker, with the player's help, chose the white phosphorus, and if you've ever heard of Spec Ops, this is the scene you're most familiar with. You are then forced to walk through all the carnage you created, all the people still burning alive, one begging for your help, some with lost limbs. You see all of that before you stumble upon a soldier on his dying breath.
Why?
You brought this on yourself.
We were helping.
What? Oh
Are those civilians?
Where'd they come from? There's no camp here.
They took him from the nest.
That hotel back at the storm wall? No, those can't be the civvies that got kidnapped. It's not possible.
Yeah, it is. That's why Gould stormed this place. He didn't want the gate. He was trying to rescue his people.
This is your fault, goddammit! Stop right there, Lugo. What it is? You wouldn't listen!
One particular thing that stands out is something Lugo says. This is all your fault. But because Walker cannot accept the responsibility of killing 47 innocent civilians, he is tuning out Lugo, his mind distorting reality to focus on this mother and this child, before being ultimately convinced that despite pulling the trigger, he did not cause this. This is a pattern in Walker, constantly shifting the blame for actions he committed to higher powers. Firstly, an unknown enemy.
I'm gonna make these bastards pay for what they've done.
To Colonel John Conrad in the final confrontation of the game.
Everything. All this. It was your fault.
Throughout the beginning of the game, the player is led to believe in our protagonist and the choices they force Walker to make. But here is where the dissonance between Captain Martin Walker as a person and Captain Martin Walker as a player avatar start to become noticeable. He does this again, where most players choose to shoot through a crowd of civilians after they killed Lugo. Most players give in to who Walker actually is, a killer, a true villain who kills senselessly and without mercy, under the guise of doing good, under the guise of defeating true evil, under the guise of being a hero. But Walker is not a hero. I often think back on when I first played this game, how I truly believed that Walker was the hero of the story. Even in the videos I made about Spec Ops, I've presented Conrad as a villain and Walker as a failed hero, sure, but never a villain. Earlier, I referred to Walker as the primary villain in the game. That's because the secondary villain in Spec Ops is the player. After all, you chose to fire the white phosphorus since there was no other option to continue the game. You wanted to see more after that horrific display of villainy. You aided Walker on his killing spree across Dubai, killing civilians, damning them all to die of thirst, and made the final decision of assigning the blame. But you can't choose yourself here, so do you feel like a hero yet?